Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to today's trade recap. So, based on my Instagram video, 50% of you wanted it daily, 50% of you wanted it weekly. I'm going to be doing it. Sometimes I'm going to do it daily, sometimes I'm going to do it weekly, just so I can accommodate for the both of you. So, let's go over today's trade recap on NQ. Today is the Tuesday, 12th of May. Before we get started today, everything you see on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. Myself and the Blueprint do not provide any financial advice, investment advice, or trading recommendations of any kind. All trading involves significant risk. You could lose more than you invest. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making any trading or investing decisions. So let's get straight into it. So coming into the day, I was looking for longs. Now you might be asking, why are you looking for longs, Dev? Or why are you looking for longs? So what I saw initially was I saw that we had a breaker structure here, and then I was going to take this long off of any available area of interest possible. So this one breaker structure had then caused this long right here. So let's kind of go into, this is a, as soon as the market kind of opened type long. So let's go into that a little bit more. I'll pop on the 1 minute just so you can have a look too. So as you can see, we slap into it, right? So my idea was, all right, look, wait for a break, retest, and we can take it long. So essentially, my criteria for a breaker structure must be that we must have a candle end on a strong body close. It cannot end on a wick. So this is not going to be the case. If you go to a 2 minute, you can see it did the exact same thing. Ended on a wick, and on the 3 minute, it's not even a break. It's literally just a leg down, right? So that already for me is a bit of a red flag. Come on, champion. Where'd you go? Yeah, so overall, this is looking like a bit of a red flag so far. So I was just like, all right, cool. Let me see what else we can produce. Then I saw valid break right here. And I was like, all right, cool. Now I could potentially look for an entry. So where are my entry points going to be? They're going to be fair value gaps and order blocks. So I'm just going to slap in replay to here. Make my life easy. So fair value gaps and order blocks, right? I wasn't really seeing too much. If I go to a 2 minute, our first fair value gap is here. If you go to 3 minute, you can see that that's also the 3 minute gap that we're looking for. And then even on the 1 minute, that looks like a 1 minute, it's not even there, right? The 1 minute gap, closest gap is here. So you can see we tap into it, but we never got a push above. So my criteria is always wait for price to break structure, then wait for an area of interest retest, and then we enter off the high or the low, depending if we're going bullish or bearish. And then depending on if we've got liquidity below, if we've got whatever it is below, we protect accordingly. So trade idea in the morning did not work out at all. That is completely fine. We're going to have multiple situations where that does not work out. So let's go into the trade idea that did work out today. So after this morning's shenanigans, we had a large bearish push down, because I also saw that, okay, cool. If we can't long off of this area, we're likely going to come down and take liquidity from somewhere else. Where would that somewhere else be? Since there is no valid order block or fair value gap in here, it is more than likely going to be this low, or sorry, this was the previous day. So it's going to be the previous day low, right? So let me kind of just go into that now. Yeah, so it's going to be New York low. New York low was going to be my area of interest, which we're going into. But then I can see we already swept New York low, and then we bounced nicely from it. So this gave me an indication and an idea that, all right, cool. We might have swept these lows, and if we can break through this 30-minute gap in here, is there a 1 hour gap as well? No. So my thought process was, okay, cool. If we can create some sort of gap off here and respect it, then I'd be looking for shorts. If we just sweep this and then continue going long, that's completely fine as well. So coming into it, I saw that we had a 30-minute gap getting tested. I can see that we were constantly breaking structure up, breaking structure, breaking structure. So our last actual break of structure was here. Now you might be asking, Dev, why is it not here? Why is it not here? Because these are what I would consider internal structure. Because technically this was our last break of structure. This is our last break of structure down. This is all one leg. So anything between this point and this point for me is considered internal. And I don't consider internals too much because they overpromise and they underdeliver. So that's just me. If you internals work for you, great. They don't work. They do work for me, but I just don't like them. So I can see we came out of our 30-minute gap and then we started chopping around a good amount. And I was like, all right, cool. If I want to short this, I need to see good momentum and pressure coming out of it. What did I see? Good momentous pressure coming out of it. All I then needed to do was wait for a 1 minute gap retest. I can see, as you can see, there's a 1 minute gap here. There was multiple gaps. You can see it's on the 2 minute, it's on the 3 minute as well. And then I think it's on a 5 minute, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, on a 5 minute, 15? No, not a 15, right? So on a 3, 5, basically all my lower time frames, so 1 through to 5. And I was like, great. I will protect my invalidation point. Because if price taps me in here and then comes all the way back up here into this 15-minute liquidity and then turns around, it's still technically valid, right? But if it goes above this 1 minute high, it's probably going to start going long from that point in time. And then I'm probably going to get cooked. So me protecting what I protected, it made sense for me to do so. I could have protected simply just this, and it would have been fine, right? I would have hit my take profit a lot sooner, but I like to do what I do because I've got my data and my statistics backing up what I do. And then I simply just targeted the external low. This was a little bit early, but yeah, this was the external low that I was targeting. And as you can see, it ran 1 to 2, and then we've kind of reversed. So now you might be asking, Dev, if you've got a bearish bias for today, why are we kind of reversing from this point? So my ideology of why we might be reversing is because we have just hit a daily gap. This daily fair value gap might provide us liquidity to continue going higher, or it might just provide us liquidity to go higher from this point into more liquidity to take a short. So whatever that liquidity might be, it could be this fair value gap, could be this fair value gap, could be this huge order block here, but I'm not too sure. It's looking like it's a bit of a sweep. We'll find out over the next few hours. So I called this all out live to my Discord. I called this out. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think I called this at 3 p.m. when I was waiting for it. So looking for it. Gap will be formed after 1 p.m. candle open. So shorts after that look good if the gap forms. So I see lower. We're exhausted. If you can kind of see that. There you go. And then I also let my group know when I was entering as well. See, if you see 337, you can see I've given my criteria. 30-minute gap, 1 minute boss, 1 minute fair value gap. I see exactly what I've just explained right there. So if you do want to join the blueprint, if you want to be live and active and see when I'm entering things, understand why I'm entering certain things at the market, you can click the link in the bio, or you can even send me a message on Instagram, TikTok, whatever's easier for you to apply for a position for the BMT Blueprint. The spots are limited because I like to keep my server good, clean, accurate, and full of wonderful human beings. So if you feel like that is you, click the link in my bio, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.